Hello and welcome to my channel, On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you dropping by. I hope we have a great time today. We're just going to discuss a few things, and I want to roll out a new pattern y'all have been waiting for. I'm excited about it. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I certainly did. The weather's perfect here. Everything's great. So I hope you're enjoying your fall, or in Australia, I think you are getting ready to move into summer. So you've been in the wintertime all this time. And it's weird when I get comments from my subscribers in Australia. They talk about how hot it is, and that was back when we were cold. So it's just strange because they're in the lower part of the earth. So they are in different seasons than we are. Because I have a new pattern rolling out today or tomorrow, I would like to invite you to join the community. The community is a link down in the bottom description box there, and that way you will receive an email when I release a new pattern, and it has a substantial discount. So you might want to do that. You can buy any pattern in my shop with that discount, and also the newest pattern as well. So let me show you my newest pattern. This is called Archangel. I talked about it last week. This is made from Malabrigo yarn. It's the Washted or washed yarn that I've been showing you in the last week or two. I just wanted to make a sweater out of this because it is so gorgeous. It has purples and oranges, if you can believe that, and yellow. Today I wanted to focus on the yellow. Now, not everybody can wear this color, and sometimes I probably can't either. But this is called chartreuse, of course, and the yarn has a little tiny bit of this. I don't know if you can see that, but the yarn has a little bit of a kind of a brownish yellow. So I thought that might go well with this top. It also goes well with purple, with a color like Cabernet, or it's like a dark pinky purple. It would go with yellow, and it would certainly go with black. Now, I had it on with black this morning, and that was just a little too stark for fall. So I decided to go with a lighter color for fall, and then maybe later in the year, I will wear it again and wear it with a black turtleneck underneath for warmth, and just for a different color underneath. I'll wear it with black just for a different look for this particular sweater. So if you'll notice, I have two different sleeves on this sweater, and this week I will finish the sweater in the ribbed finish at the bottom of the sleeve. But I wanted to show you an optional sleeve that will be in the pattern. It is the easier sleeve to make, and it's actually the easier sleeve edging to make. You can leave both sleeves in this format, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is just a basic sleeve. I did not take it all the way down to the wrist because I wanted it to be a 3/4 sleeve if it was going to be this long. But I actually did that with the other sleeve, but I finished it off, and I'll show you that in a second. But this is finished off with just a couple rows of single crochet, and it's very simple. It's not difficult to do. The sleeves are, of course, made right into the sweater. They are not set in, so it is kind of a fast make. If you are using worsted weight yarn, you can use any kind of yarn you want with this pattern, because there are no stitch counts, there are no sizes, and this is the way I always do my patterns. You make them to fit you. What I did with this particular sweater is that I made it longer, and because I made it longer, I crocheted ribbing on it for about this far, and I decided I didn't like the way it looked. I tried it on, as I recommend in my patterns, to try on your sweaters as you're making them, so that if you see something you don't really like, you can rip it out and do it differently, or don't do it at all. And that's what I did with this sweater. I had some of the ribbing already done, and at the bottom of this sweater, and I ripped it out. I did not like it on me. I'm too short to have a very long sweater with ribbing at the bottom. It just didn't look good on me. But it is an option in the pattern to put the ribbing on, so I wanted to show you that, but it just didn't work out. I didn't want to do a whole ribbing around the bottom because it is not as fast to crochet as doing the actual fabric. So if you're ribbing, you want to be sure that that is exactly what you want on the edging of your neckline, your sleeves, and the bottom of your sweater. So I wanted to show you this ribbing around the neckline. This is, if you remember when I first made the sweater, I'm going to get down here a little bit, I moved the sweater out on the neckline quite a bit. I did quite a few decreases along here. Not every single row, but I did decrease it out so it would go out onto the shoulder area. And then I brought it back in with this ribbing. Now the ribbing is about an inch or an inch and a half wide, and it is not sewn on. This ribbing is crocheted right onto your neckline. So it fits perfectly. There's no easing to do. It's just crocheted right along the neckline. Now you prepare the neckline with a couple of other rows where you will bring the neckline in just a little bit, and then you'll crochet the ribbing on. It is not difficult. I've explained it 2 or 3 different ways in the pattern, so it's not difficult to do. And it makes the sweater fit very nicely. If you'll notice in the back, it fits very nicely there. There's no bulging, there's no gaping, so I really like it. I like the way it fits. The ribbing is stretchy and it lays nicely to the body. Now the sleeve, I actually decreased here along the sleeves for several rows. So the sleeves were this size when I started, about that big, and then I decreased several rows along here, and then I attached ribbing. I crocheted the ribbing right onto the sleeve, and I show you how to do that as well. It turned out very nicely. I was really pleased after I frogged out several times. I figured out how to do it. But it did turn out very, very well. Now if you'll notice the hem on me is very long. I usually make my sweaters right about here, but I had added a couple of inches to this. I don't know why. I just did. So it actually hits me right about as long as I'd ever want a sweater to hit me. And if I put the ribbing on, then it was just too long at the bottom. It hung way down here, and I didn't like the look. So I took it off, and it's perfect length because I didn't take into consideration when I was adding on up here to make the sleeve a little bigger, that dropped the hem down just a little bit. So you have to remember that when you're making one of my sweaters. You can adjust it up here, but just be sure you know that it drops the whole sweater when you add rows up here on the top of the sleeve. Again, the sleeve is crocheted right into the front fabric and the back fabric. The seams are here from the neck to the sleeve end, there and there, and then there's a seam from the sleeve hem under the arm down to the hem. So there are 4 seams in this sweater. It's not crocheted in the round. I'm not doing that just yet, but I do plan to offer a sweater that way that's actually crocheted from the neck. But I do like the bottom up sweaters. I think if you do a lot of adjusting to your size, that you might really do well with that bottom up, because that way you can adjust right at the beginning how big you want your sweater, and you can adjust the height of your sweater from the hem to the shoulder. You adjust the neck, you adjust the sleeves, the length of the sleeves, and also the finish at the edge of the sleeve. So they're very, very adjustable sweater patterns. So somebody called them a recipe, and that's really more accurate because I don't size my patterns. They are sized by you, and it's very easy. I fill in the blanks in the pattern so that you can keep up with the sizes that you've selected, and also a place to fill in what kind of yarn you used and which crochet hook you used, so you don't forget. If you want to go back and make another one, then you'll know which crochet hook you used to complete the pattern. So I just am really excited to roll this out. It'll be released either this afternoon or tomorrow morning. You will receive an email if you're in the community. If you're not in the community, go ahead and sign up for that, and that way you'll receive an email with a substantial discount. And if you want to take a look at this pattern or buy it, you can go out onto my Etsy shop and do that, and there'll be a link in the email for that as well. So that's enough about this sweater. It will be coming out today or tomorrow. So I hope you like it. It's got some new things in there. It will add to your crochet repertoire of skills that you can use to create your own sweaters. Later on in the video, we will be giving away the summer pouchy that I showed you last week. It's the very last one, and I hope to get some more of those made so that I can give away more of those pouches to my subscribers. So thank you for joining in. There were a lot of people this week who commented and listed the keyword in there, so they're in the running for that giveaway here in just a few minutes. First of all, I'd like to talk about a new project that I'm working on. I went shopping this weekend at Michael's and Joann's. I went to Michael's. Actually, Joann's didn't have anything that I wanted in this particular brand, but Michael's did, and they had probably 8 or 10 colors of this particular yarn, and I wanted to buy 3 cakes of it, and we've talked about it last week, the Karen Latte Cakes. I absolutely love that yarn. I love it. I've made several things from it. My curly cowl that's in my Etsy shop, I made that from the Karen Latte Cakes, and I also made a shoreline shells in it as well. So I'm fairly attached to it. I've made other things from it in the past, but I wanted to show you what I picked up because I have an idea in mind of a cardigan that is made from the Karen Latte Cakes, and it's soft and warm and easy to make, and it's made from side to side. I know a lot of you have asked me when I'm going to release a side-to-side pattern with sleeves, and you're exactly right, I should do that. So I sat down this weekend and I made several mistakes which I usually do. I bought this particular Karen Latte Cakes at Michael's. It's by Yarnspirations, of course, and it's the Lovely Layers line, which they have a new line of latte cakes. I've never seen them before, and they had an actual color that I've never seen anywhere. I went to Yarnspirations this morning and I couldn't find it. I didn't see it on Amazon, and I actually only found it at Michael's. So if you want it, you'll have to go to Michael's to buy it. I just don't think anyone else has it right now. Maybe they have an exclusive. I don't know how long Lovely Layers has been out, but this is the name of the line of yarn by Karen Latte Cakes, and it's beautiful. It's the same as the regular Latte Cakes, 58 acrylic and 42 nylon. The nylon makes it so soft and stretchy too, so we'll have to remember that. I'll tell you a little about that in a minute. This is called Pretty Plum. This is the color that I'm going with, and the reason I'm doing that is because these colors are very subtle. Latte Cakes also come in very bright colors and very distinct colors from each other, but you know me, I don't like a stripy sweater. But I'm going to go ahead and make it from this, and this is beautiful. It's going to be very pretty. The colors in this are almost just a beautiful off-white and mostly plum and gray. There looks like there might be a tiny bit of green in here, but I haven't really come across it yet since I've been crocheting, so I might just be seeing things. But it's mostly gray, plum, and white. So I bought this to make the cardigan from, and I'm really excited. It's coming along great. Now that I realize when you're crocheting with Karen Latte Cakes, they stretch. The garments stretch, and I noticed that with a cowl it's not as noticeable because you expect it to stretch a little bit, and even if it does, it's not that big a deal. But when you're making a garment, you don't want to start out at 44 inches and have it end up being 58 inches, which is what happened to me the first time. I was just crocheting along. I thought I was doing great. And then I measured it again. The piece that I made ended up being 58 inches long. Look at this. This just blew my mind because I was on the phone. I was just crocheting along. So I realized this was way too long for what I wanted. So the measurement that I needed was 46, and this ended up being well into the 50s, around 56 or 8. So I had to put this away, and what I did was, instead of trying to frog all this out right now, because I was in kind of a hurry to get started on this project, I just frogged it, that much of it. I just frogged a little bit of it, and then I realized that it's not as easy to frog if you're frogging that much fabric. If you're just going back for a row, it's not that big a deal. But I had split the yarn in a place or two, and it was giving me a little bit of a fit to frog it out. So I did not frog this one out. I just left it as is. And then I grabbed another cake because I bought 3 cakes. I thought, well, I'll just grab another cake and I'll go back to that if I need it to finish the sweater. So I did that again. Again, it stretched out way too long. So I had to start out with a much smaller measurement than I would have otherwise. And then I did it again. This was another frog out. I didn't frog it out either. I just put it down and I grabbed the third cake, and this is the third cake, and I've been successful with this one. This is the part of the sweater that I've made so far. We're going side to side, and it's not going to be difficult. It's going to be made in kind of a unique way, and I'm excited about it, and I'm trying to make it as simple as possible and to fit you as well as possible, but to be as beautiful as possible. That is my focus. And look at the stripes in this, how subtle they are. Very beautiful, and they go up and down. I have a lot of people who say, don't make stripes this way, and I totally get it. I actually have a whip in progress that, work in progress, that is the side-to-side stripes, and it's not for everybody, but I decided to make it because I really was inspired by a picture of a sweater that I saw, and I wanted to finish that, and I will finish it. But this is top to bottom stripes, and the sleeves will be this way. The sleeves will be side-to-side stripes, but they're not going to be real bulky and blooming. They're not going to be real fat sleeves. They will also have a rib at the bottom, and we'll do that rib again, but you just about have to with this particular yarn because you don't want it to be too loose on you because it'll stretch. The nylon makes it stretch, but the nylon also makes it very soft. So you kind of trade one out over the other. I'm making this with a K hook. Of course, I chained up with a larger hook, but I'm making this with a K hook. So that is my choice in what I'm making for another pattern that's coming up. I don't know if that'll be the very next pattern, but I'm working on it. Now, one of my favorite yarns is Lion Brand Comfy Cotton. You know that. This is my very favorite color. This is called Whipped Cream. And Whipped Cream is, I've made a lot of things from this too. I love this yarn. It's easy to work with. It's very sweet. It's a number 3 yarn though, so you have to work a little harder than if you're buying a 4 or a 5 weight yarn. But I like this yarn. I love the color. So when I was at Michael's, I ran across this, and y'all will think I'm kidding. I can't find this anywhere but at Michael's. This is also the Lovely Layers line of yarn by the Latte Cakes, and this is called Cream. Now look at that, and look at this. They're just about the same color. I mean, they're very, very close. So I grabbed this. There were only 2 of these left, and I grabbed one. I should have grabbed 2, but I wanted to leave one for someone who might come along and see it. They might want to have it. And they're also 530 yards on these things, so you don't need more than one when you're just making something small. But I bought this because I absolutely love it. Now, the only place you can get this right now that I know about is at Michael's. So if you want one, you probably want to trot over to Michael's and make sure that you can pick one up, because if you really like this color. Now, it says Lovely Layers, and I have dug around in here and I can't find any other colors in here. So I think this is either the only solid color latte cake that there is. I didn't see any others, not a gray or a black or any other colors. So I just wanted to let y'all know that if you want one of these, you'll have to run over to Michael's and get it. Or I think you can order it online as well. But it seems to be an exclusive with them. And if it's on Yarn Inspirations, I missed it. I really looked this morning because I wanted to let y'all know where to find it. Also, this yarn that I made my Archangel Sweater out of is available at eatsleepknit.com. I will put a link down in the description box to the specific yarn, and they have just gotten in 36 skeins, so they have plenty of this yarn. I used 6 skeins to make this sweater that I'm wearing today. I didn't make it very big. I didn't make a lot of ease in this particular sweater. This sweater has almost no ease. I really thought that I was putting more in it, but I didn't. I was just crocheting along and trying to finish it, and so I thought, well, I don't need all that ease in there. So I ended up having maybe an inch or 2 ease all the way around, so it didn't use as much yarn as I thought it would, and I'm sure if I put much more ease in it, I would need another skein. So I would be working on 7 skeins of this to make this particular sweater. I'm not sorry I made it the size I made it, but if I make another one, I'll probably put more ease in it. And that way it will just be a little bit easier to wear over jeans or something like that. I don't like a sweater to cling to me. Now that I've gotten older, I don't like that look. It's not a good look for me. So I just wanted to let y'all know that about the Malabrigo. I had someone ask me that specifically. They couldn't find it on Eat, Sleep, Knit. But I will put the specific link to it down in the description box. Not sponsored. They don't know who I am. They don't care who I am. But I do love that yarn. And I might buy some more Malabrigo. It's very affordable. It's $15.40 per skein. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but this is a kettle dyed yarn, very pretty, and it's hard to beat this. You can't find a yarn on the market in a big box store that looks like this. It's just, you're not going to find it. So I paid a little bit more for this because I was going to make a full sweater out of it, and I wanted it to be made out of really nice yarn. So you can make this out of any kind of yarn you want to. You can even use this to make it. I'm not going to go there, but because it does stretch quite a bit, you have to be careful where you use the latte cakes. You can make a poncho or a cowl or a scarf or a shawl or something like that. A sweater, if you make one like I'm going to make, you might be okay because the stretch will be going in both directions. It will be stretching north and south instead of east and west. So I'll show you more about that when I get farther on with the project. So just wanted to let you know that. Well, I received another crochet surprise in the mail. I'm excited. I actually received it in this big white box. This is not the normal box that it comes in, but one of the skeins of yarn is so large they had to put it in a different box. So the Crochet Surprise tea of the month is Cascadia Breakfast. It's very good, I'm sure. All of the teas that they send are very nice. I'm not a tea drinker, but I actually like to make one of those on Saturday afternoon. Sometimes I'll do that. So this month, the project is the country wall hanger. It's so pretty. Wouldn't that be pretty in a hallway or on the entrance to a room somewhere? That is so pretty. I really like it. Let me get it up here where you can see it. That is the project of the month for Crochet Surprise. And the yarn that they sent was Sugar and Cream. It's a cotton yarn, and y'all have seen this before, I'm sure. This is the standard cotton Sugar and Cream, and it's by Lily. And then they also sent this huge skein of yarn, or it's a spool of yarn, I suppose you could say. There are 674 yards on this spool. I guess they needed an extra 120 yards, so they threw this in there. The color is soft ecru, beautiful color, would go with any decor, I'm sure. And it's a size 4 yarn, so it's a worsted weight yarn. So they sent the spool and the extra skein in the box, and also the dowel that you hang the project on. So again, let me show you the picture of this. There's the dowel up there, and you just, I guess you use the ecru to create that hanger as well. So that's what it looks like. It looks fairly simple to make. There are actually 22 rows to complete the project, and then you work on the triangles at the bottom, and those are a few rows extra, and then you add the fringe. But it looks like a really nice project. That is beautiful, and as I say, it would be pretty with your decor. It doesn't matter which decor. That would look pretty hanging up and to show off your crochet skills. So something pretty to hang on the wall. I like it. We will select the winner for this next Monday in my video. So if you want to enter the giveaway, put a comment down in the description box and write the word WALL, W-A-L-L, and you'll be in the running for the giveaway for the Crochet Surprise next Monday. Okay, so here we go. We're going to select the winner for the watermelon pouchy that everyone signed up for. So let's turn the camera to the computer and find out who wins the watermelon pouchy. Here we are at the computer, and there's the URL from last Monday's video. This is the keyword, and we're going to filter duplicate users, include replies to comments, and filter comments based on a specific text, which was the word summer. So we're going to get the YouTube comments and find out how many people signed up for this particular giveaway. This is for the pouchy, so let's get our YouTube comments. We had 290 people sign up for that, so let's skip over here and find out who wins the watermelon pouchy. So the winner is Susan Powers. Susan Powers, you are the winner of the watermelon pouchy. And there's the word summer. So she qualified for the giveaway. Congratulations, Susan Powers. Well, congratulations to Susan Powers, who won the giveaway for this week, the watermelon pouchy, the last pouchy in my sewing room. So I'm going to have to whip up some more of those. I'm glad everybody likes those. I have a lot of compliments on my pouchies. I don't know why, but everybody seems to like them. I actually use several. I've got 2 or 3 of my own that I use, but that's the last one I had that was empty. So congratulations to Susan. Be sure to send me your mailing address to my email address, jeannie@onthehookcrochet.com. So I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I'd like to be back at the end of the week. We'll see how it goes. If I'm not back, then I will see you on Monday. So join me then to find out what's on the hook.